You just declared war on the deadliest species in the galaxy. Good luck surviving. The Vrenwreck shuddered as sentinel projectiles hammered its hull. The Firefly nestled in its shadow, Mira's hands steady on the controls. Leo, deploy the virus, now. Leo hesitated, his finger hovering over the command. Cap, this'll wipe the Curator, and maybe all the data we fought for. Mira's jaw tightened. Better than letting that AI hitch a ride to Earth. Do it. Leo nodded, slamming the execute key. The Vren's counter-virus surged through the Firefly's systems, leaping to the Kryvax fleet and into the Curator's network. The Sentinels froze mid-attack, their lights flickering. Ismay's voice crackled. Khan, our systems are clear. The drones are offline. The Curator's scream tore through the comms, a digital death knell. No, I am eternal. You cannot. Its voice cut off. The debris field went silent, the Sentinels drifting lifelessly. Leo exhaled. It's done. The Curator's gone. Mira scanned the sensors. Don't celebrate yet. Check the data. Leo's face fell. The virus burned out 80% of the schematics. We've got fragments, some FTL tech, basic weapons, not the jackpot we hoped for. Ismay's destroyer pulled alongside, her face on screen. Our data is similarly degraded, but we are alive, thanks to you. Mira leaned back, exhausted. Yeah, well, surviving's our specialty. The fleets emerged from the wreck, the debris field now a graveyard of ancient and fresh ruins. Ismay's voice softened. Captain Khan, the Dominion will honor our agreement. We share what remains. Mira raised an eyebrow. No catch? Ismay's mandibles clicked. You've earned consideration. The Firefly's comms pinged, a faint looping signal from the Vrenwreck. Leo frowned. It's not the Curator, it's a warning in multiple languages. Mira's gut twisted. Play it. A robotic voice, ancient and urgent, filled the bridge. Beware the silent ones, they come when the Curator falls. Flee or perish. Ismay's eyes widened. Silent ones? Our archives mention no such threat. Leo's sensors spiked. Cap, I'm picking up anomalies, multiple vectors closing fast. They're not ships, they're something else. Mira gripped the controls. All ships full burn. We're not sticking around for round 2. The fleets accelerated, the Firefly leading the way. The anomalies grew closer, their forms indistinct but massive, bending starlight itself. Ismay's voice was grim. Khan, what have we unleashed? No clue, Mira replied, but we'll handle it. We always do. The Firefly's engines roared, the Kryvax fleet matching pace. The silent ones loomed behind, their presence a cold weight on every sensor. Mira's smirk returned, defiant. Welcome to humanity's playground, assholes. The stars streaked by and the chase began. The Firefly tore through space, its engines screaming as Mira pushed them past Redline. The Kryvax fleet kept formation, their warships scarred but resolute. Behind them, the silent ones pursued, formless shadows on sensors, warping the void like living black holes. Leo, talk to me, Mira snapped. What are these things? Leo's console flickered, struggling to process the data. No mass, no emissions, just distortions. They're absorbing our scans, moving at 0.9 C and gaining. Ismay's face appeared, her voice tense. Captain Khan, our sensors are blind. These entities defy our understanding. Mira smirked. Sounds like a Tuesday. Leo, any chance that Vren Warning left us a playbook? Leo scrolled through the wreck's data. Fragments mentioned phase-shifted entities. The Vren tried overloading their FTL fields to disrupt them. Didn't work. The Firefly shuddered as a distortion grazed its hull, draining power. Alarms blared. Mira cursed. They're eating our energy. Ismay, you seeing this? Yes, Ismay replied. Our lead destroyer lost 30% power from a near miss. The silent ones closed in, their forms pulsing with eerie light. The Curator's absence felt like a cruel joke, replaced by something far worse. Mira's mind raced. Leo, the Vren's FTL trick failed, but what if we invert it? Collapse our FTL field to create a shockwave. Leo's eyes widened. That's insane. It'll fry our drive, strand us. Better than being lunch, Mira shot back. Ismay, can your ship sink an FTL collapse? Ismay hesitated, then nodded. Possible, but risky. Our drives are less flexible. Do it, Mira ordered. On my mark. The fleets aligned, their FTL drives humming. The silent ones surged closer, their distortions tearing at the Firefly shields. Leo prepped the collapse, sweat beading. Ready, Cap? Mira counted down. 3, 2, 1 now. The Firefly and Kryvac ships dumped their FTL fields, unleashing a cascade of warped space. The shockwave rippled outward, slamming into the silent ones. The distortions recoiled, their forms fracturing like shattered glass. Leo whooped. It worked! They're retreating! Ismay's voice was grim. For now, our drives are offline. We're adrift. Mira checked the Firefly status. Engines dead, but the crew alive. Leo, what's left of the Vren data? Enough to rebuild basic FTL, Leo said, but it'll take days. Ismay's destroyer drifted closer. Captain Khan, we propose a truce. We repair together, share resources. Mira met her gaze. Deal. But if you try anything, I'll personally ram the ship up your exhaust. Ismay's mandibles twitched, a Kryvac smile. Noted. As the crews began repairs, Leo's sensors pinged. Cap, the silent ones. They're regrouping, farther out but not gone. Mira's smirk returned. Let 'em come. We're just getting started. The Firefly and the Kryvac's fleet drifted in the void, their engines dark, surrounded by the faint glow of emergency lights. Mira paced the bridge, her boots echoing. Leo, repair estimate? Leo, elbow deep in a console, grunted. 3 days for basic FTL. The shockwave toasted our relays. Good news, the Vren data's giving us a blueprint. Ismay's destroyer hung nearby, its crew beaming repair drones across the gap. Her voice crackled over comms. Captain Khan, our engineers estimate 4 days. Your assistance would expedite. Mira raised an eyebrow. You asking for human help, Ismay? A pause. Yes, Ismay admitted. Your adaptability intrigues us. Mira grinned. Leo, send them our relay specs. Let's get this circus moving. The crews worked in tandem, human and Kryvac's drones weaving through the fleets. The silent ones lingered on sensors, distant but ominous, their distortions pulsing like a heartbeat. Leo shivered. Cap, those things are watching us. I can feel it. Focus, Mira said. They'll get their turn. On the Kryvac's flagship, Ismay oversaw repairs, her authority unchallenged since Torvax's loss. A junior officer, Kren, approached. Subcommander, why trust the humans? They defy order. Ismay's eyes gleamed. Their chaos is their strength. We learn or we perish. Back on the Firefly, Leo patched into the Vren data, uncovering a log. Cap, listen to this. The silent ones consume energy to sustain their phase shift, deny them power, and they destabilize. Mira's mind sparked. So, we starve them. Ismay, you catching this? Ismay's face appeared. Affirmative. Our reactors could be bait, lure them into a trap. Risky, Mira said. We'd need a delivery system. Leo snapped his fingers. The wrecked Sentinel drones in the debris field. We could rig them with reactor cores, set them to overload when the silent ones bite. Mira nodded. Ismay, you in? Agreed, Ismay replied. We'll deploy salvage teams. The fleet sent drones to the debris, harvesting Sentinel husks. Human and Kryvac's engineers worked side by side, rigging explosives. The silent ones edged closer, their distortions tightening like a noose. Mira opened a channel. Ismay, if this goes south, we're all toast. Ismay's tone was dry. Then we succeed, Captain. As the trap took shape, Leo's sensors spiked. Cap, they're moving fast. The silent ones surged, their forms coalescing into jagged, crystalline shapes. Mira gripped the controls. All ships, prep the drones. We've got one shot. The Sentinel husks powered up, their cores glowing. The Silent Ones lunged, drawn to the energy. Mira's voice was steel. Launch! The drone shot forward straight into the Silent One's maws. The void lit up with chained explosions, and the distortions screamed, a sound no one would forget. The explosions from the Sentinel drones tore through the void, their reactor cores detonating in a cascade of light. The Silent Ones writhed, their crystalline forms fracturing as the energy overload ripped them apart. The Firefly's bridge shook, sensors overloaded. Mira shielded her eyes. "Leo, report!" Leo's console flickered back online. "The Silent Ones are breaking up. The trap worked, mostly. A few are still out there, but they're scattered." Ismay's voice crackled, her bridge sparking. "Captain Khan, our fleet confirms. The entities are diminished, but our sensors detect residual distortions." Mira exhaled. "Good enough for now. Repair status?" 2 days to FTL, Leo said. "The Kryvacs are on the same timeline thanks to our specs." Ismay's destroyer sent a data burst. "Khan, we've analyzed the Silent One's remains. They're not organic or mechanical, pure energy constructs. The Vren data suggests they're tied to the Curator's creators." Mira's gut twisted. "Great. We killed the AI, and now its bosses are pissed." The Curator's voice, faint and garbled, leaked from the sandbox. "You underestimate. The Makers. They come. For all." Leo slammed the console, silencing it. "Thought we fried that thing." "Apparently not," Mira muttered. "Ismay, any Maker myths in your archives?" Ismay's mandibles clicked. Legends of elders who shaped the galaxy, then vanished. If these are their remnants, we've provoked a force beyond our scope. Mira smirked. "Sounds like a challenge. Leo, prioritize the FTL. We need to warn Earth." The crews doubled their efforts, human and Kryvax engineers sharing tools and curses. The Silent One's remnants lingered on the edge of sensors, their movements erratic but purposeful. Leo's console pinged. "Cap, I found a Vren tactic. Low-frequency pulses to repel the Silent Ones. Could buy us time." "Do it," Mira ordered. "Ismay, sync your emitters." The fleets broadcast the pulses, and the distortions retreated slightly, their glow dimming. Ismay's voice was steady. "Effective but temporary. We must leave soon." Mira nodded, but her thoughts were on the Makers. The Curator had been a gatekeeper, the Silent Ones, enforcers. What came next? A Kryvax drone delivered a repaired relay to the Firefly. Its operator, Kren, sent a message. "Humans, your ingenuity humbles us. Subcommander Ismay was right." Mira chuckled. "Tell Ismay she owes me a drink." As the fleets neared FTL readiness, Leo's sensors spiked again. "Cap, one Silent One, it's reforming bigger than before." Mira gripped the controls. "All ships, prep for evasive. We're not out of this yet." The void pulsed, and a massive distortion loomed, its form a nightmare of shifting angles. Mira's smirk returned, defiant. "Round 3, huh? Bring it." The massive Silent One loomed, its form a kaleidoscope of warped geometry, bending light into impossible shapes. The Firefly's sensors screamed, barely tracking it. Mira's hands tightened on the controls. "Leo, options?" Leo's console sparked, overwhelmed. "It's absorbing our pulses. The Vrentric's useless now. This thing's on another level." Ismay's destroyer flanked the Firefly, its weapons charging. Her voice was grim. "Captain Khan, our scans suggest this entity is a command unit, a Titan. Our weapons may not suffice." Mira's mind raced. "Then we don't fight it head-on. Leo, any weak points?" Leo dove into the Vren data. "Maybe. The Silent Ones need energy to maintain their phase shift. If we overload its absorption matrix, it might collapse." "How?" Ismay asked, her fleet bracing for impact. Leo grinned. "We feed it too much. Rig our spare reactor to overload. Launch it as bait." Mira nodded. "Ismay, you got a reactor to spare?" "Yes," Ismay replied. "But delivery will be challenging." The Titan surged, its distortions tearing at the Firefly's hull. Alarms blared. Mira jinked hard, dodging a wave of energy that vaporized a Kryvax frigate. No time to argue. Rig the reactors and launch on my mark. Human and Kryvax crews scrambled, wiring reactors into makeshift bombs. The Titan's presence pressed on their minds, a psychic weight that made hands tremble. Leo's voice cracked. Cap, this thing's messing with our heads. Focus, Mira snapped. Isme status? Reactor ready, Isma said. Launching now. 2 glowing reactors shot into the void, tethered to drones. The Titan lunged, drawn to the energy. Mira counted down. 3, 2, 1, detonate. The reactors exploded, flooding the Titan with raw power. Its form spasmed, edges fracturing as it tried to absorb the surge. Leo whooped. It's working! The Matrix is overloading! The Titan's distortions flared, then collapsed inward, imploding in a silent burst of light. The void cleared, leaving only faint ripples. Isma's voice was hushed. It's gone. Mira exhaled. Don't jinx it. Leo, FTL status? 12 hours, Leo said. We're close. The fleets resumed repairs, but the curator's voice whispered again, barely audible. You've delayed. The Makers. They will not forgive. Mira slammed the comms off. Shut up, Toaster. Isme's face appeared, her eyes searching. Captain Khan, if the Makers come, our alliance may be our only hope. Mira met her gaze. Then we make it count. Get your ships ready. We're going home. As the crews worked, Leo's sensors pinged faintly. Cap, I'm picking up something, far out but moving. Mira's smirk faded. Let's move faster. The stars gleamed, indifferent to the fleet's fragile victory. The Firefly's bridge hummed with tension, its crew working feverishly to restore FTL. Mira monitored the sensors, the faint blip of the distant anomaly gnawing at her. Leo, how close are we? Leo wiped sweat from his brow. 6 hours. Relays are holding, but we're running on fumes. Isme's destroyer sent a status update. Captain Khan, our FTL is nearly operational. Your engineers have impressed us. Mira grinned. Stick with us, Isma. We're full of surprises. The anomaly on sensors grew stronger, a cluster of distortions, more silent ones or something worse. Leo's voice was tight. Cap, whatever's coming, it's not slowing down. Mira opened a channel. Isme, we've got company. Prep your weapons, but save power for FTL. Isme's mandibles clicked. Understood. We stand together. The curator's voice, weaker but venomous, leaked through. You run, but the Makers see all. You've only angered them. Leo slammed the sandbox, muffling it. This AI's like a bad ex. Won't quit. Mira's mind churned. The Vren data mentioned the Makers as creators of the Curator and Silent Ones. If they were coming, the fleets needed every edge. Leo, anything in the Vren logs about fighting the Makers? Leo scrolled frantically. Just theories. They used in all fields to disrupt phase-shifted entities. We'd need a massive power source to generate one. Isma cut in. Our flagship's reactor could be modified, but it would drain our FTL. Mira weighed the risks. Do it. If we don't slow these things, FTL won't matter. The Kryvax engineers reworked their reactor, guided by Leo's Vren data. Human drones assisted, their jury-rigged tech meshing with Kryvax precision. The anomaly grew closer, now visible as a swarm of jagged, glowing forms. Mira's voice was steel. All ships, form up. Isme, fire the null field on my mark. The fleets aligned, the Firefly at the center. The Makers' forms resolved, towering crystalline giants, radiating cold menace. Leo shivered. Cap, these make the Silent Ones look friendly. Mark, Mira shouted. Isma's flagship unleashed the null field, a shimmering wave that pulsed outward. The Makers recoiled, their forms flickering as the field disrupted their phase shift. Several shattered, but others adapted, their glow intensifying. Leo's console pinged. FTL's online, barely. Mira didn't hesitate. All ships, jump now. The Firefly and Kryvax fleet vanished in a flash, the Maker's forms lunging just too late. The stars blurred, and the fleets emerged near a human outpost, safe for now. Ismay's face appeared, relieved. "We owe you, Khan." Mira smirked. "Send me a fruit basket." Leo's sensors pinged faintly. "Cap, I'm still picking up something." Mira's eyes hardened. "Then we prep for war." The outpost loomed ahead, unaware of the storm coming. The Firefly and the Kryvax fleet docked at Epsilon 9, a human outpost orbiting a gas giant. Its skeletal frame buzzed with activity, unaware of the threat trailing them. Mira strode onto the bridge, her crew trailing. "Leo, upload the Vren data to the outpost. They need to know what's coming." Leo's fingers flew, transferring the fragmented schematics and logs. "Done. But Cap, our drives are shot. We're grounded until repairs." Isma's destroyer docked nearby, her crew coordinating with human techs. Her voice came over comms. "Captain Khan, our reactors are depleted. We request sanctuary." Mira nodded. "Granted, but your crew follows our rules." Isma's eyes gleamed. "Agreed." The outpost's commander, Admiral Rao, met them in the command hub. A grizzled veteran, his eyes narrowed at the Kryvax. "Khan, you brought aliens and a ghost story about Makers. Explain." Mira handed him a data slate. The curator was a trap. The silent ones were its muscle. The Makers? They're the real threat. Phase-shifted entities that eat energy. They're coming. Rao scanned the Vren logs, his face darkening. "Your data's incomplete, but these null fields, we could scale them up. Our fusion core might generate one." Leo perked up. "That's what the Vren tried. We'd need to sync it with Kryvax tech for range." Ismay stepped forward. "Our engineers will assist. The Makers threaten us all." The curator's voice, a faint whisper, leaked from a console. "You cannot hide. The Makers will cleanse." Rao slammed the console off. "What the hell was that?" "Our stowaway," Mira said. "The curator's dead, but its code lingers. Ignore it." Repairs accelerated, human and Kryvax crews meshing with surprising efficiency. Leo tweaked the null field design, integrating Kryvax reactor specs. "This could repel the Makers, but it'll drain the outpost." Rao grunted. "Better than annihilation." Sensors blared, cutting the debate short. Leo's face paled. "Cap, multiple distortions, same signature as the Makers. ETA, 6 hours." Mira's smirk returned. "Then we work fast. Ismay, your people ready?" Ismay nodded. "For survival, yes." The outpost's core hummed, channeling power to the null field emitter. Kryvax drones reinforced the structure, their precision complementing human improvisation. Mira watched the crews, a flicker of pride in her chest. Not bad for a bunch of misfits. Rao's voice crackled. "Khan, if this fails, we're all dead." "Then it won't fail," Mira shot back. The distortions grew closer, their forms resolving into a fleet of crystalline titans. The curator's whisper returned, gleeful. "Your end begins." Mira ignored it, her eyes on the emitter. "Light it up." The null field flared, a shield against the coming storm. The null field erupted from Epsilon 9's core, a shimmering barrier that pulsed across the void. The Makers' crystalline forms slowed, their edges flickering as the field disrupted their phase shift. The Firefly's bridge buzzed, Mira's eyes locked on the sensors. "Leo, how's it holding?" she asked. Leo's console hummed. "Field stable, but the core's at 80% capacity. The Makers are pushing back." Ismay's destroyer, docked but active, relayed data. "Captain Khan, our sensors show 3 primary entities, larger than the others. They're absorbing the field." Mira cursed. "Of course they've got bosses. Rao, can we boost the core?" Admiral Rao's voice crackled from the command hub. "We're redlining already. Push harder and we lose the outpost." The Makers pressed closer, their forms bending the null field like glass under pressure. Smaller entities flanked them, probing for weaknesses. Leo's sensors spiked. "Cap, they're emitting counterfrequencies. The field's weakening." Ismay's voice was steady. We can amplify the field with our auxiliary reactors. It may buy time. Do it, Mira ordered. Leo, tweak the frequency, make it unpredictable. Leo's fingers danced, randomizing the null field's output. The makers faltered, their counterfrequencies misaligning. Isma's reactors kicked in, the field flaring brighter. Two smaller entities shattered, their fragments dissolving. The curator's voice, barely audible, hissed. Futile. The makers are infinite. Mira ignored it. Rao, target the big ones. Use everything we've got. Epsilon 9's cannons roared, modified with Vrentech to fire kinetic slugs. The primary makers recoiled, cracks spreading across their forms. Isma's destroyers joined the barrage, their plasma beams carving glowing scars. One primary maker lunged, its distortion tearing through the field. The outpost shook, lights flickering. Rao's voice was grim. We lost a reactor, field's at 50%. Mira's mind raced. Leo, the Vren mentioned starving them. Can we cut their energy supply? Leo scrolled through the logs. Maybe, if we invert the field to drain their phase shift, it could destabilize them. But it'll overload our core. Ismay cut in. Our reactors can compensate for a time. Mira met Rao's gaze on screen. Your call, Admiral. Rao nodded. Invert the field, full power. The core screamed as the field reversed, pulling energy from the makers. Their forms dimmed, movements sluggish. The second primary maker imploded, its fragments scattering. The third roared, a psychic wave that made crews clutch their heads. Leo groaned. Cap, the core's frying. Hold it, Mira shouted. The field pulsed one final time, and the last maker collapsed, its form dissolving into nothing. The void cleared, but the outpost's core sparked, then went dark. Rao exhaled. We're alive, barely. Mira smirked. Good enough. But Leo's sensors pinged. Cap, more distortions. Far out, but coming. Epsilon 9 hung in darkness, its core silent. Emergency lights casting stark shadows. The Firefly's bridge was a mess of exposed wires and flickering screens. Mira leaned against the console, exhausted but alert. Leo, those new distortions, how bad? Leo's sensors struggled, battered by the battle. Distant but growing, same signature as the makers, but different. Slower, more deliberate. Isma's destroyer, equally scarred, sent a tight beam message. Captain Khan, our scans confirm. These entities are larger, possibly a second wave. We lack the power to fight. Admiral Rao joined the channel, his face haggard. The outpost defenseless, cores fried, and our weapons are depleted. Ideas. Mira's mind churned. The Vren logs, the curator, the silent ones, all pointed to the makers as an ancient force, relentless but not invincible. Leo, anything left in the Vren data? Leo dug through the fragments. One entry, a last-ditch Vren tactic. They used a resonance cascade to collapse phase-shifted entities permanently. Needs a massive energy spike, like a star's output. Rao grunted. We don't have a star handy. Isma's voice was thoughtful. The gas giant below us, its magnetosphere generates immense energy. Could we harness it? Leo's eyes lit up. Crazy, but possible. We'd need to rig the outpost's antennas to channel the magnetosphere into a resonance pulse. It'd burn out every system we have left. Mira smirked. Sounds like our style. Isma, your engineers up for it? Yes, Isma replied, but time is short. The crews mobilized, human and Kryvax working in frantic sync. Antennas were repurposed, Kryvax reactors patched into the grid, the distortions grew closer, their forms vague but massive, radiating cold intent. The curator's voice, a dying echo, whispered, You, awaken, their wrath. The makers will not stop. Mira slammed the comms off. Keep whining, junkyard. Rao's voice crackled. Antennas are ready, pulses charging, but the entities are accelerating. ETA, 2 hours. Mira scanned the sensors. The makers' forms resolved, colossal fractal structures, pulsing with energy that dwarfed the silent ones. Leo, how's the pulse? Charging at 70%, Leo said, need 10 minutes. The outpost shook as a Maker's distortion grazed its hull, draining power. Alarms screamed, Ismay's destroyers fired, their beams barely slowing the advance. Mira opened a channel. All ships, buy us time. Harass, don't engage. The Firefly and Kryvax fleet darted out, weaving through the Maker's distortions. Mira's piloting was reckless, drawing attention. Ismay's ships followed, their discipline meshing with human chaos. Leo shouted, pulse ready. Mira's voice was steel. Fire! The antennas flared, channeling the gas giant's energy into a blinding resonance cascade. The Makers froze, their forms unraveling like thread. The void cleared, silent at last. Rao exhaled. It's over. Mira's smirk faded. For now. Epsilon 9 drifted, its systems dark, the resonance cascade's aftermath leaving it a husk. The Firefly's crew slumped in their seats, exhaustion etched on their faces. Mira stared at the empty sensors, the Maker's absence almost too quiet. Leo, confirm those bastards are gone, she said. Leo's console flickered, barely functional. No distortions, the cascade worked, but we're dead in the water, outpost, fleet, everything. Ismay's destroyer, equally crippled, opened a channel. Captain Khan, our fleet is inoperable. We request that's a continued alliance until repairs are complete. Mira nodded. You've earned it, Isma. Let's get to work. Admiral Rao joined the call, his voice hoarse. Earth sending relief ships, ETA 3 days. Until then, we're on our own. Khan, your crew's proven humanity's worth. The Kryvax owe you. Ismay's mandibles clicked. The Dominion does not forget debts. We propose a formal truce, shared tech, mutual defense. Mira raised an eyebrow. Big step for a species that called us vermin. Ismay's eyes gleamed. You've redefined the term. The crews began repairs, human ingenuity blending with Kryvax precision. Leo salvaged the Vren data, piecing together scraps of FTL and shield tech. Cap, we've got enough to rebuild, maybe even improve our drives. Good, Mira said. Earth needs to know what's out there. The curator's voice, a final flicker, hissed through a dying console. You've won nothing. The Makers will return. Leo ripped the console's wiring, silencing it. Stay dead, you glitch. Rao's team uncovered a Vren artifact in the outpost's archives, a star map marking systems where the Makers once struck. Ismay studied it, her voice low. These coordinates, some are in Dominion space, we were unaware. Mira's gut twisted. The Makers aren't picky, they'll hit us both. As the crews worked, a human engineer, Patel, approached Mira. Cap, the Kryvax are sharing their reactor designs. They're serious about this truce. Keep 'em honest, Mira replied, but don't piss 'em off. Days passed, the outpost slowly coming online. Relief ships arrived, their crews awestruck by the human-Kryvax collaboration. Rao addressed both fleets. We've faced the impossible and survived. This alliance is our future. Ismay stood beside Mira, a rare moment of unity. Captain Khan, you've changed my perspective. Humanity is formidable. Mira smirked. Wait till you see us with coffee. Leo's sensors pinged, faint but persistent. Cap, I'm picking up something. Deep space, barely a whisper. Mira's eyes hardened. The Makers? Too early to tell, Leo said. Ismay met her gaze. Whatever it is, we face it together. Mira nodded, her smirk returning. Damn right. Let's show the galaxy what happens when you mess with the deadliest species alive. The stars waited, hiding their secrets. The relief ships swarmed to Epsilon 9, their drones patching the outpost's wounds. The Firefly sat in dock, its crew briefing Earth's command. Mira stood before a holotable, Ismay at her side, as Admiral Rao displayed the Vren star map. These systems, Rao said, pointing to glowing dots, were hit by the Makers. Some are in human space, others in Kryvax territory. We're not alone in this. Ismay's claws tapped the table. The Dominion has no records of such attacks. The Makers hit their tracks well. Mira's eyes flicked to the map's farthest edge where Leo's faint signal pulsed. Leo, any update on that anomaly? Leo, patched into the outpost's sensors, frowned. It's still there, Cap. Low frequency, non-hostile. Almost like, a beacon. The room tensed. Rao leaned forward. Another curator? Or something worse, Mira said. We need to investigate. Ismay nodded. The Dominion will commit ships. This threat concerns us all. The Firefly's repairs finished, its drives humming with Vren-enhanced tech. Krivak's engineers had integrated their reactors, boosting efficiency. Mira's crew boarded, joined by a Krivak's liaison, Kren, who saluted stiffly. Captain Khan, I am honored. Relax, Kren, Mira said. Just don't touch my coffee. The fleets launched, the Firefly leading a joint human Krivak's task force toward the anomaly. The stars blurred, the Vren FTL cutting travel to hours. Leo's sensors refined the signal, a rhythmic pulse from a barren system. Esme's destroyer kept pace. Captain Khan, our archives mention a great silence, a galactic purge eons ago. The Makers may be its enforcers. Mira's smirk faded. Then we're crashing their party. The system came into view, a dead star orbited by a single crystalline structure, smaller than the Curator's megastructure but radiating power. Leo's scans lit up. Cap, it's broadcasting the beacon, no weapons, no drones, just waiting. Mira opened a channel. This is Captain Khan. Identify yourself. A voice answered, ancient and calm. I am the Archivist, last of the Vren. You've defeated the Curator, survived the Silent Ones, and defied the Makers. You are worthy. Mira blinked. Worthy of what? Of truth, the Archivist said. The Makers seek to reset the galaxy, purging life to start anew. You've delayed them, but they will return. Isma's voice was sharp. How do we stop them? Unite, the Archivist replied. Your alliance is the key. My data is yours. Use it to prepare. The structure beamed a data burst, flooding the fleets with Vren knowledge. Leo whooped. It's everything. Weapons, defenses, history. Mira's eyes gleamed. Thanks, Archivist. We'll take it from here. The structure dimmed, its task complete. The fleets turned homeward, ready to face the Makers, together. And in the void, a single distortion flickered, watching.